All right. Welcome to another edition of the Pear Genius Podcast, right?
New Year's edition.
Man.
Last day of 2024.
Yeah, I guess this is going to be like a double release because I still haven't released the Christmas episode.
I'm thinking maybe we'll just skip it.
No, I'm not skipping it. It's
Fine.
Evergreen content and
Fine.
you're amazing.
Fine.
Although, correct me if I'm wrong, did we do that in 2 takes?
Yeah, because the kids interrupted us.
Oh, okay.
As they will do.
See, I don't even remember. It'll be fun to look back and listen to it and all of our episodes of 2024.
Yeah.
What's your favorite episode so far of this year?
Probably the PMS episode, just because it was funny and truthful, and, it was just really out there.
Hey, we're drinking.
Yes, a little bit of bubbly.
Cheers. Fitzpatrick. Oh, man.
You can't go wrong with some Okanagan champagne.
Yes, this is one of our favorite wineries in the Okanagan Valley. They're right on the water, so Fitzpatrick, thank you for this.
Not that they sent it to us for free, but...
No, we're not sponsored yet. Maybe next year. Goals.
Next year.
We can just turn this into a wine podcast where we get free wine. I would do it. I would take that hit.
Would you?
Yes. I don't mind becoming an alcoholic when it comes to really good wine.
At least we'll be doing it together.
So what do you want to talk about, milady?
Well, I have some questions, but
And I have answers.
you might not actually.
Maybe not.
It'll make you think in any case. But I don't know, like, before we get into those, do you want to talk about anything? Like, I mean, we had the full moon yesterday in Capricorn. It was the black moon because there was new moons. There was 2 new moons in December.
I don't know what questions we're going to go through here, but I thought we would talk about 2024 a little bit, but I'm guessing that has something to do with your questions.
Are we just ignoring everything I just said?
I don't-
You have food on your shirt.
I don't know anything about black moons and new moons in Capricorn, so
No, I didn't talk to you about it yesterday.
you tell me and the audience everything about it.
I will not. I'll just go straight to the questions. How about that? Will that make you happy?
I would like to know more about these things if you're willing to provide that information.
I'm not willing.
So then it's my fault and the audience's fault that we're ignorant to these things.
All right, are you ready for your first question?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the most surprising thing you learned about yourself in 2024?
About me or about you?
No. Let's do first about you, and then you can tell me something about me if you want.
Oh, man.
That's tough, right? Like, these are not easy questions, so it's fine if you need a little bit of time to think.
I think that the sound bath that we had. So for me, the way my mind works, it's like I'll go to the the soonest realization that I had.
Okay.
About myself.
Okay.
And that I guess I kind of forgot because I haven't had this in a long time. But anytime that I'm around conflict or having conflict in my life, I do get this. I don't know how to explain it. It's like an iron ball in my stomach, and I carry around this weight, and it really bothers me.
And I feel like you've had that pretty much your whole life. Anytime you start to feel anxious and there's something going on around you that could potentially escalate to something else, you create this ball in your stomach.
But I don't think about it too often because we live in a house where we don't have conflict.
We've cultivated a peaceful environment in our home, so it's
Yes.
very rare now for you to get this.
Right. So when it happens, it's like, oh, I'm instantly reminded of my childhood, but I'm also grateful at how rare that is in my life now. And since some nonsense, well, we don't even have to go over this now, but I had some nonsense come up this month. And it's beyond stupid. And I had this ball, and I'm like, oh man, instantly reminded of this conflict.
It's a trigger for your trauma.
Right. And the sound bath was so helpful because I was picturing this thing and I could actually see it. And as Sandy was going through the sound bath, it basically burst into flames and like disintegrated. And that was an awesome moment of 2020. It was one of my awesome moments of 2024.
So I'm going to just pause for a second to explain sound baths, because not everybody knows what a sound bath is. So here in Cochrane, we have a woman named Sandy, and she does the most amazing sound baths. And she has this setup in her basement. It's a professional recording studio, so it's very well, I want to say, insulated, soundproofed, and padded. And then she has several quartz singing bowls set up, as well as, like 9 gongs?
There's a bunch of gongs.
6 or 9 gongs. There's a lot of gongs.
There's a rainmaker thing.
She has a rainmaker, she has chimes and drums and the whole gambit. So she always starts with a little bit of an astrological reading. She checks your chart, see where the sun is, or if there's anything interesting to talk about. And then she has us lay down on really comfortable mats, and we close our eyes. And then she takes us on this sound journey. And it is a sound bath because those sound waves just wash through you, over you, around you. And then when she crashes the gongs, it's usually in a moment of release. So she watches your energy, and when you're ready to release something, she'll crash the gong. And I think it's in that moment that you ended up having that ball totally disintegrate because you were working with it.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
I loved it. It was really good.
I recommend sound baths to everybody because even if you don't believe in it, it's still going to work because it's just, actually, that is science.
And my big thing is I have gone to these many times, but I instantly fall asleep.
Every time, yep.
This was the first time where I had a defensive nap so that I could stay awake and be present for the whole thing. And I actually enjoyed it way more being present and not doing the whole subconscious thing.
I would say that you don't necessarily miss just because you're sleeping. Like you said, your subconscious does get all of the messages. Your body is still interacting with the sound. But when you're awake, you get to work with it. You become an active participant, and it's a very different experience.
Yeah, so I would say that it was my favorite experience, and I just really enjoyed it. It was a nice way to spend time with our family and it was like an experience. It was an experience Christmas present.
It was. So
thanks to you.
I think that you learned, so let's recap that. So the thing that you learned about yourself in 2024 is that while you do still have this trauma within you, when it's activated, you now have the ability to heal it.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I have shone the light on it.
You shined.
Shine the light? I don't know. I shine the light on it. I feel like not only can I do it with this, is going forward, I can do it with many things that drive me bananas about me and, basically trying to level myself up.
And I think you also learned about the power of being awake and participating when it comes to meditation and sound baths and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think you learned a good number of things just in the last few days.
It's been good, yeah. And I don't know. You said something new that I've learned, and I would say that that's one of the ultimate things that I've learned. I already knew that I love traveling. I know that I love being healthy and spending time with you and doing things. So this was kind of a major piece of my puzzle that I needed.
Nice. Did you want to think about something about me?
What I learned about you?
Yes. What is one surprising thing that you learned about me in 2024?
You go first, and then as you're talking about, answer your own question, and then I'll think of something about you.
Okay. Well, I think that one of the most surprising things I learned about myself this year is that, and it's funny, I'm just going to use what's happened in the past few days for me as well, is that learning that by rewording something negative about myself is actually become a positive for me. So I was really carrying this burden of being a hermit, a loner, not a lot of friends, of being cold, coming across cold. Like cold was one of my words when we did that personality episode about myself. And then something came across my feed. I'm like, wait a second. Like, it's not that I'm cold, it's that I want to protect my peace. So I will retreat so that I can protect this serenity and peace that I've cultivated within myself. That was part of the reasons that we left one province, moved to another, and I've wanted peace in our house for the kids, for you, for me. And I've learned that when I am challenged, when somebody comes along to disrupt that peace, I tend to retreat. And I always thought that was something cold and kind of bitchy and unfriendly, but it's not. It's something new that I'm learning about myself, that I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to be a warrior peacekeeper of my own peace. So I think that's one of the things I've learned about myself.
I think that's extremely valuable.
I hope so.
And in my mind, I'm like, it's not me, it's you. That was one of our t-shirts. It's like one of the things that we've learned. It's like, it's not always us, right? It's like, okay, we've worked on our crap.
We've worked a lot on our crap.
A ton. So, going out in the world, I always used to think, oh, it's something that I did that's wrong with the person, and that's why they're coming at me this way. And I'm realizing, it's nice to step outside the box and realize that other people have their own problems, and it's not me that's causing them pain. So it's actually very valuable. It's like, I don't always feel like I'm the problem, and I don't feel like you're the problem, even though maybe we are sometimes. But just saying, for the most part, I would say that we're not. People are dealing with their own crap.
Sure. Just
like we're dealing with our own crap, and we go out into the world and we puke on other people too. And it's not their fault that, we're at the precipice of losing our minds, and they just happen to be in the way. So
right.
I wrote while you were talking that your power is very valuable to me. I am such a peacekeeper. And the thing that I've noticed just in the last couple conflicts that we've had, it's that, you know what, there's a really good time to nuke it and burn it all down and not be a peacekeeper. And, sometimes, like when somebody stabs you in the back, just nuke it. Just be done with it, because you know what? There's 7 billion other people that you can go and be friends with. And you know what? You don't have time for like snakes in your garden and people stabbing you in the back. Like who's got time for that crap? Like, we keep our inner circle small, and I think that's pretty strategic and for a reason. And when somebody's time is up, it's time to move on for everybody's sake, and it's my fault that so many relationships have limped along.
Yeah, I'm the nuker. I really want to, when I'm done with something or I've been hurt, I just want to like lash out and just instant kill. But there was times this year where I didn't, because I didn't want to create that knot in your stomach. So you see how your trauma and my trauma are totally connected. Like, I was trying to be respectful, but actually that situation required me to burn it down, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And I think it hurt both of us in the end that I didn't.
Yeah, I think going into the future, it'll be interesting. There's got to be a halfway point.
Yeah, you probably don't want my level of fire, but...
Right, otherwise we would never know anyone ever. But at the same time, I allow people into our lives to stay there once it's, kind of past the point of good for anybody. Right. And there's got to be a happy medium where you just got to let people go and do their own thing. And one thing I learned about me too is I need to do a way better job. Like, I'm not blaming anybody for anything right now. I will turn the mirror back on me and say, I do need to do a better job of, I guess, nurturing relationships. And, I probably just check in way too few and far between for most people. So a lot of my relationships kind of dwindle off, and that's not a good thing either. I need to do a way better job of that.
All right.
Yeah. With lots of work. There's lots of work to do in 2025.
Yeah.
We're nowhere near perfection.
No.
Perfect is a very small sliver.
However, I think that we've done a good job of seeing what we've learned about each other in 2024.
This is why I don't drink. Look at this, man. I'm getting like...
You have like that, what is that, Asian blush, or what is that?
I'm getting all red, and...
Sometimes that happens to you. That never happens to me. But it's okay.
I'm not as beautiful as I once was.
You are to me. If you could redo one moment of 2024, which moment would it be?
I know the exact moment.
Oh, really? That was fast.
I would not listen to you.
Oh, good.
When we are about to go on a motorcycle trip and it's time to put your padded pillow on your seat, I don't ask whether you want it or not. I tell you that padded thing is there for a reason, so your butt nerves don't get destroyed.
Okay, well, first of all, I didn't even know that the butt had nerves, and now I'm very aware. And second of all, I don't like the padding because it makes me that much higher, and then I'm like leaned over your body that much more. And then I was worried about my lower back,
Sure. And you ended up sitting on a life preserver on the way
which
home.
was already it was
too late, yeah.
I was in so much pain.
But that being said, you were in so much pain by the end. You needed something. Otherwise I was getting you a plane ticket home.
Yeah.
And that was actually a pretty good idea. Probably should have got you
I
a plane
mean,
ticket home.
there were moments where I'm like, fuck it, let's ditch the bike and just figure out another way home.
Dude, there was times on that motorcycle trip where I was just like, oh my God, this is it. Selling the bike, done. Our old bodies are not doing
Right?
it. The bike that we have, it's not meant for thousands of kilometers.
But that's what we love doing. So I guess the next bike will have to be something that's more comfortable.
Yeah, the Pope Mobile. We'll have a big bubble around us and warmth and heated seats and
I'm sitting basically on a 2x4. So as lean as my bum is, it doesn't fit on this 2x4.
it's pretty small. I mean, the seat is padded, but you were sitting on a not padded thing. Like we have these bags that go over and
Saddlebags.
And you're actually sitting on like the hard thing that velcros them together.
Yeah. Not a good setup.
No. Anyway, the question was, what would I redo? I would put
You would redo that
I would put that
moment.
pillow there so that you would have had a much more enjoyable trip, thus giving both of us a much more enjoyable trip. Because I spent a lot of time worrying about you.
Sure, I know. You want to know which moment I would redo?
I do.
It was in January.
Wow, you remember?
Yo, yeah, because
Oh, God.
there was a moment where we were packing up our shit in Mexico and I left my freaking computer on the nightstand. I would go back, put the computer in my bag, and we'd be off and on our way. That's the only moment I need to redo from this year.
I'm mad at me. Like I said, it is my job to go and do a sweep of the entire room and make sure everybody's got their chargers, nothing's forgotten. And the one time I don't do it, you leave one of the most important things behind.
You know, it's really difficult to get your stuff back from Mexico. It's really difficult. It takes a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of people. And it was just really a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
I was grateful to the resort for doing that, though.
I was grateful to everybody involved.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of people involved in helping me get this back.
I should have just taken a cab back and yeah, it was crazy. I thought about, risking it, taking the cab back to the resort, grabbing it and cabbing back. But if I would have missed that plane and stayed in Mexico for an extra week.
It was a long ride from the airport back to the resort. It was a very long ride. You would have missed it for sure.
Don't do that again, okay?
All right, are you ready for the next?
Are you ready to never forget your laptop ever again?
I'm never taking my laptop on vacation ever again. That's
wouldn't.
another thing I've learned about myself.
Just bring a tablet or a phone and just do the bare minimum that you can from email.
Right.
Hit me with it.
What's one thing that I did this year that really made you feel loved? And the longer it takes, the more offended I'm gonna be.
Wow. Well, I'm just trying to think about what you did for my birthday. This is bad because my memory is not good, and to put me on the spot like this.
I know, and honestly, I know that there are few and far between moments of me being crazy affectionate. Let me think about one of my moments, because you make me feel loved all the time. I have dozens of things I can refer back to.
Yeah, but you make me feel loved all the time too. Like whenever you make me food every week. That's how you show me you love me. I love that all the time. My mind goes to what's my favorite meal of the year. Or what you did for me for my birthday kind of thing. That's where my mind goes. It's like, okay, so what was my favorite meal that you made? What were you going to say?
You're asking me? I don't know.
No. But I interrupted you.
No, you didn't. I think I was done.
Okay.
I guess that was a goofy question.
What was say it again? I'm sorry, everybody.
What's the one thing I did this year that really made you feel loved?
Man. I love the fact that we went to Mexico together.
Yeah, but was that really me? No.
Yeah, we worked really hard to make that happen. That was an amazing trip. and how much fun you and the kids and all of us had. Oh, and the dolphins. The dolphins were fantastic. Yeah, the happiness that you had swimming with those dolphins, that was like the most love my heart has ever felt. Just seeing that, that's all I needed, was for you to swim with the dolphins.
So my childlike happiness did it for you.
Your joy makes my heart light up.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah, seriously, that's, man, if that's what it is to be a man. If you can take care of your family and they're that happy, you've succeeded. That's how you make a man's heart explode.
That's really nice.
Thanks. Not too shabby.
What's a big goal for you for 2025?
Wait, shouldn't we reverse the question? What did I do
I mean,
to
you
make
do
you
things
feel?
all the time, even just the things that you say. There's really never a time where I don't feel insanely loved and taken care of.
Yeah, but was there a moment in 2024 where you felt like even more amazingly loved? Like a standout moment. That's what you're asking for in your question to me, a standout moment.
Yes.
So now I have to put you on the spot of this standout moment where I made you feel extremely loved. And you can't use my dolphin experience.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, you so desperately looking for the life jacket from my bottom was extremely loving. You stopping as often as you did so that I could get off and rub my sore bum. That was really nice. You let me have an extra day in Oregon so that I could recover.
Yeah.
Dude, this is not everything you do is so nice. I am spoiled beyond.
Excellent. All right. So you'll be taking care of me this evening with massages and back rubs.
Yeah. Okay, tell me about your big goals for 2025. One big goal.
Wait, is that the question?
Yeah.
What's my big goal for 2025?
Yeah. Like a giant goal, your biggest one.
Oh, wow. I would say that I have two goals.
Okay.
I would have massive prosperity, figuring out a really good money system to become very prosperous. That is my main goal of 2025. That's going to involve basically cutting you out from the equation and taking complete control, because I feel like you really love money coming in and going out, and I need to do a better job of not letting so much go out. You know, we can bring it all in, but we need to figure out how to prioritize what it's doing and how it's doing it. And I think that I would be very good at that.
I know you would be.
I think that's my big goal. And I guess working towards self-mastery. I am always working to master myself.
Nice.
Master myself.
I like it.
Be a black belt in life. But I feel like, it's crazy. We're at this middle age. And I know that I guess I'm technically on the back end of the timeline of life, but I still feel like there's a good amount to go. Like still the most amount with a great amount of wisdom in the back. Like right in the middle is such a sweet spot.
Yeah.
There's still lots of sand in the hourglass. And the advantages of all the wisdom, if you don't use that, man, I would smack myself on the head so hard. So really taking the things that I've learned, mastering it more, and coming back this time next year and like reviewing it and saying, wow, this is what I really succeeded at. This is what I sucked at. But, we made some strides, and
That's such a Virgo thing to say.
try to be perfect.
Analyzing.
Yeah. Shoot for the moon and try and hit the stars, right?
Nice.
Something like that. What about you?
A big goal for 2025?
Yeah.
I have a couple, and it probably works well with your goal of bringing in prosperity, but I'm ready for a larger house.
Oh, wow. This year?
I'm ready.
goodness.
This year, I would love to. It really felt like this was the last Christmas in this house, and you and I love hosting so much. I would love to have more space to do it.
Yeah.
I would love to have more space. I would love to have a kitchen that's separated from the rest of the house so that while we're hosting, I can still come away, prepare, organize, cook, bake, and recover a little bit, because I noticed this year my energy was draining way faster being around so many people.
Yeah, and to add to that, I would say that our next house would have a separate kitchen.
I just said that.
I know. But I'm saying that's my goal, so it doesn't matter what you want.
I
It's
see.
like this is my goal. I want a bigger property then to have this house. I don't want, to be in a neighborhood. I mean, not that I don't love where we are, and I could live here for much longer. But if you're gonna force us out of here, then I want a bigger property, and if we're gonna have a little bit bigger house, great. But I want to be able to maneuver and do things on this land and build stuff and have projects, and that'd be fantastic. And if it was in a nice warmer climate,
Well, I think so. The other part of my answer is that I want to have a house in Arizona. Because let me tell you, this time next year, tomorrow we would be leaving, and that would be it for Canadian winter,
yeah, I'm cool with that.
right? Like enough.
Yeah, I could do Costa Rica, I could do Mexico, I could do Arizona.
It's Arizona for me all the way.
I love Arizona.
I'm not interested in jungle spiders.
As long as Bear is happy, right?
Yes. Is there anything you want us to try together as a married couple in 2025?
Oh, like something new? Ooh, that's a cool question. Wow.
You know what's dumb? As I was writing these out, I didn't think about the answers.
That's okay. See, it's like there's,
So-
I mean, I appreciate these kind of questions.
I'm
Like,
panicking.
oh, okay. So I would say this year was a mega yoga year.
Definitely.
We definitely did that. What would I do with you in the next? Oh, we should do pottery. That's sexy.
Ew.
Like ghost.
No, I know what you're thinking.
It's funny. Man, what would I do? Maybe a book club. Maybe our own book club.
Like starting a book club?
I would probably want to read more. Especially books, like great books like The Alchemist or, but stuff that we haven't read. And I would like to kind of do that with you so that I think that you're amazing at breaking down different books. And even if you don't absorb it, you still get inspiration and knowledge from different stories.
Definitely for the moment.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't remember anything. But as you're saying it, I'm like, I can envision a space that you and I would create in our new, bigger house where we would have like the whiskey room, the brandy room. And that's where we would have our book club. It would be really philosophical, the conversations. I would love to have deep philosophical conversations.
So you like my answer?
I love it. And then we'd have like these crazy comfortable armchairs and, we'd sip our cognac and whatever. And it would just be so lovely to have like, I know that this is typically like, I'm thinking like more of like a man's den, where the men get together and philosophize, but I want to be a part of it.
Smoke cigars and just be men.
I think that would be just so lovely. Have
sure.
velvet curtains and wood everywhere and have that dark, cozy atmosphere.
So I'm going to challenge you to come up with like 3 books, not now, but to come up with 3 books, and I'll come up with 3 books. And if we read 6 of these books, that would kind of change our lives for the better and help put pieces of the puzzle philosophically.
I would have candles and like lighting, like Pear Genius lighting.
Yes, that would be great.
And smells. I would have smells in the room. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
So you like my answer then?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, a book club for us.
A philosophical book club. It's not a book club. We have to think about a better word for it, but
Read more.
it's not reading. It's also just discussing and challenging views and opinions. And,
Yeah.
I think that in these moments, we get to create a better tomorrow.
I would say that a great way to start doing that would be to not watch Netflix at night and to read and discuss every evening.
Yeah, sure.
Don't you think that would be just a good habit instead of
Yes, that's a good habit.
mindlessly watching
You
TV
and
for
you,
2 hours?
such a Virgo, you and the steps. I'm ready to go right to the end into this amazing whiskey room, and you're just like, no, we're going to start by reading a little bit every night.
So you have 0 plans.
I don't need the plans. That's what I have you for.
Right, exactly.
What's something about me that you don't want me to bring into 2025? If there's like a habit that I have or a quirk that's not serving you, what could I leave behind in 2024?
So many landmines to step on.
Go ahead, dear. Step.
Oh my goodness. Man, I would... I would say that it's tough for the kids to watch you not like people.
How am I supposed to get rid of that's just part of who I am?
I don't know. But I would say that I think that you should do a better job of hiding your dislike for, for people for the children's sake.
Okay, can I say though that that's what it is to have, it's like I'm the guard dog, I'm the security, I'm, like people have to come through me before they get into our inner circle. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So you and I are very opposite.
you
Very
don't
opposite.
say.
No, it's true. And this goes back to the other thing, right? Like it's always a nice tidy package where I probably am too nice and you're probably too mean. And we got to be meeting somewhere in the middle, especially for the kids' sake, because I was thinking about this, that I want the kids to like their in-laws. I would like their kids to get along with their each other and their family. And you and I do not have a good track record for this. That's one thing that I want to be a better example of for our kids.
I will say Laura gets along really well with her boyfriend's family. She loves them a lot.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry. She's good.
Okay.
Emma's still too young. But
Okay.
fine. I did not think that's what you were going to say. I'm really surprised by that answer. So I will have to think about how to be less mean.
Well, I'm not sure. It's a weird way of wording it. It's yeah, like our families drive us bananas,
I
and we're
can't
probably too vocal about how bananas we are driven by them.
I can't help but be mistrustful of other people because people in general are disgusting.
Oh, dude, I'm talking about our families. I'm not even talking about
So you want me to let them back in? Like,
no.
Kate, you're doing a bad job of explaining to me.
Let's move on.
No, I want to know more. Tell me what you actually mean.
Well, I mean, yeah, I just don't want, as much as my dad drives me crazy, I feel bad if I ever say anything bad about my dad, and then I kind of pass that on to the kids. And I mean, our kids are old enough to see the craziness, and they're old enough to see our craziness too. It's like, man, I wish that I could do a better job, and you could do a better job of, I don't know, pretending that the world is a perfect place.
Oh my God, we're going to have a conversation about this because...
Yeah, I'm not saying it right. It's just, I know our kids aren't little and innocent anymore, and we shouldn't treat them as such.
Our kids' opinions of our families right now are not coming from our point of view anymore. It's coming from their own experiences with them.
Yeah, I just hope that, you and I did a good enough job of teaching them the extremes so that they know what the middle is for being assertive, being, standing up for themselves without burning down the entire thing.
Fine. So going into 2025, I'll be less mean.
But you know what I mean, right?
No.
Like you and I are at these two major extremes. You've taught me how to be a little bit more assertive, and I'm still not assertive enough, and I need to be.
I am fairly friendly to everybody. It's just that I don't let them into my, inner circle.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm saying that you and I are these extreme things, and we need to figure out the middle, because the middle is the sweet spot.
Anyways, so the one thing that I want you to drop in 2024 and not bring over into the new year is your really low self-worth. That is not serving you, and it's not serving us, and it's not serving the kids. So if you could just leave the low self-worth behind, I think that's all. Everything else you can bring with you. I love everything about you, but that's the one thing that's hurting everybody.
Perfect. I like that answer.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
one.
Did you like my answer?
No.
Oh, I'm a big failure.
If we had a marriage resolution, what would it be? I don't like New Year's resolutions. I don't make them. I find them to be insanely stupid. However, if we had a marriage resolution, what is something that you want our marriage to turn into that it's not exactly yet?
I want you to forgive me for the last thing. Wow. What's the marriage resolution?
You know what? I think that maybe I should say first that I've noticed already there are a few things that are pushing on our marriage right now because we're meant to evolve or change something.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the fact that I am more of a recluse and you are more of a people person, you know, and I think that you're missing people in our lives, whereas I am not at all. And that's kind of started to make things uncomfortable a little bit. Like because I'm starting to now feel that that's what you're feeling.
Yeah, and I need to do a better job of not trying to be a hermit when I'm not. You know what I mean? I know when I need to come inside and recharge, but I do get a lot of energy from going out and interacting with the world.
But you know, I'm not forcing you to stay in with me. I'm so happy when you plan things for yourself and you go and do things. Like I'm so happy to stay behind.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
But for some reason it's pushing on us differently right now than it ever has.
yeah. You know what? As long as you're cool with me going out into the world,
You know
and
I am.
doing things, that's what I'm gonna do. And
I think that that's kind of where our marriage resolution is going to have to come in, that we want to make sure that as we explore things separately, that we're still as connected as we ever were.
well, think about this. If you're a people pleaser like me, you will sacrifice yourself to please the other person.
Which you do all the time. I've watched you do it in 2024 a lot.
And I've seen you do the same for me, where it's like, instead of me going out alone and doing what I need to do, you'll come with me and put yourself in harm's way to kind of please me by being my arm candy.
Right. So this is, I think, a really good thing for our marriage resolution, right? Is to figure out this component. Otherwise, this could turn into something potentially larger for us. That's bad.
Sure, yeah. And recognizing that when I really need you or really want you to come with me, that I'll use that coupon sparingly. It won't be every time.
Right. Like
I'll know when it's
if
time.
you're coming to me and asking me sincerely that you want me to come with you, then of course I'm coming out with you.
Cool.
Okay, so good.
Sometimes I like my arm candy.
That's fine. I'm happy to come and keep you company or do whatever I need to do with you, but it has to be that's actually something that you really want and need in that moment.
Sounds good.
Okay, that's a good New Year's marriage resolution for us, huh?
I like it. I think that's a win-win.
Agreed. If you could choose one reset moment from our entire lives together as a married couple, what would it be? Where in our marriage would you love to press a reset button?
Oh, man.
I have my answer.
Then you say it while I think.
It would be leaving Manitoba sooner than we did.
Oh, wow.
I probably would not have built the Stonewall house. I would have probably reset that whole chapter and just left Manitoba.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So instead of moving there, you would have left.
I would have left Manitoba completely.
That's interesting because we weren't actually thinking that at the time.
Nope. I now knowing what I went through and what that chapter actually ended up being and how different it was than what we wanted.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to have a do-over on that.
I would say then that I would want my reset moment to be that I would be smart enough to say that we're going to go to Saudi Arabia, all of us, and not just me by myself.
That would be your resetting.
I would have taken all of us when the opportunity arose, and we would have probably spent a year there.
A year. I think Trudeau screwed that up within 6 months.
Let's say Trudeau, the idiot, didn't screw it up, and we
Okay.
would have spent a year there. I think it would have been very, very cool. And
Well, financially, it would have been something.
yeah, and if that would have opened up some opportunities in Dubai or something, I think that would have been a very different life. I don't know how good that would be for the kids. They would be very worldly, that's for sure. But that's kind of if we're playing that game, that's kind of the thing that I would wish I could have seen. You know, that would be my what if, and it'd be neat to go into the multiverse and see how our lives would have unfolded. If we would have ended up back here, great. As long as we're hopefully healthy and nothing bad happened, you know, it could have been the biggest regret. It didn't happen for a reason,
I mean,
right?
the chapters happen so that we learn lessons, right?
Yeah.
And Stonewall was a major lesson. And I'm wondering if there would have been another path we could have chosen to soften that lesson a little bit more.
Yeah, I would say that the Stonewall chapter, as good as it was to like host those things with our families before we did go, it was a huge price to pay, health wise, stress wise, even financially. It wasn't great financially either.
No,
It was
crazy.
it was the ultimate, like, oh my goodness, what did we do? It was
Right.
it was very difficult.
All right.
There's a reason why we left. I was just mentioning on Facebook today to somebody that they were saying, oh, how do I get healthy? And I joked, I said, leave Manitoba.
Manitoba, yeah.
That's how you get healthy. It's just, there's something about, no offense, Manitoba, but there's just something about that energy.
I mean, that's coming from our point of view too, so.
Trust me, when you're there, you can feel it.
What is your 2025 prediction for us as a Virgo Scorpio couple? And I feel like we touched on that a little bit with our marriage resolution, because your star chart makeup really, I think, is going to have other people involved a little bit more. Whereas mine is more inward. However, for 2025, my star chart is saying that it's about networking and getting my communication across, which is why I'm still doing this podcast, because I think that there's something there for me, but as a Virgo Scorpio couple, what is your prediction for us?
Well, I mean, growth, obviously growth, getting rid of self-worth. If all these things that we're talking about throughout this episode come together, I mean, bad things always happen. But if we're going into this next year with all these different intentions, and we start checking off the boxes and putting in those good habits every day, why wouldn't we succeed? Even if we don't accomplish everything, at least we're working towards those goals.
I think Virgo, you being a Virgo, you tend to maybe overanalyze or overplan, or like the peacekeeper part. Like,
I just need a goal. I need a finish line, and then I can start working. So then I can start engineering the steps.
You know what works so well for us though, as a Virgo Scorpio couple, is the projects.
Yeah.
Right? Because the projects allows you to lay out a plan and, build the steps around that. But it allows me to have that final vision, and kind of hold to that and do all the other stuff I don't love doing to get me to that point. So maybe our prediction for us for next year is to have many projects together.
Yeah. I think for everybody, goals. You have to have goals. If you just let life drag you like a horse, you're like tied up to the back of a horse and the horse just drags you through. If you don't have goals, that's what's happening. So if we're setting these intentions, and then paying attention to the signs and the opportunities as they arise, and not being scared to jump on them, recognizing them, that's how this game works.
I'm thinking that another prediction is for us to have more time in our astrology charts and readings, because something really amazing that came out of the sound bath was realizing that when the sun shines on a particular house in a particular month, that's where you should be leaning into. And if you don't know, it's just going to happen to you. But if you do know, you get to work with it.
There's a lot of empowering things. I think that the more you know, the better. Especially with these things. Like, one of the biggest takeaways of this astrology stuff that we've been looking at is figuring out kind of your hardwiring, and then figuring out what's worth going against the grain and what's worth going with the flow. Make your life easy. Go with your strengths and accomplish things much easier.
Right.
So much of me, and we've discussed this many times, is I'm trying to be great at many, many different things that I'm probably not even meant to be great at. And hence, I might not be amazing at much. I might be mediocre at things, whereas I'm missing the opportunity to be very, very great at a few things. And maybe I have to put my ego down, or my love of learning everything, and just focus on the things that I'm really, really good at this year in order to be prosperous.
And I think that having your chart and knowing where the sun is in your chart at any given time will help you with that. It's like, oh, if the sun is shining here for this particular thing, I'm just going to send all of my energy there.
Sure. It can't hurt.
It cannot hurt.
Can it? I mean, if you know something, or if you hear something and it resonates with you and you believe it, boom, you're 90% of the way there. Now it's just time to work.
Right.
I don't know. I don't understand why people don't dig it. It's like, if you have a little bit of help here and there,
that's the thing. It doesn't matter what religion you are. You're still born at a certain time where the sun is in a certain spot, the moon is in a certain spot, the planets are in a certain spot. Like, this stuff is like, it doesn't even have anything to do with religion. It's just poof, a snapshot of your of the sky when you were born.
That's funny. It does actually have.
No, I understand that. I didn't want to actually trigger that for you, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying that religious people freak out about astrology when it's like, it even says in Genesis that the stars are for signs and seasons. They're there for us as signs. It's there in religion. So don't be a hater.
Go.
Be a participator. Don't
I
be a
have
hater.
one last question. Which astrological sign's energy do you wish you had more of for next year? So if you,
What?
I know, that's a weird question, but if you think about like some of like, you think
Well, I already got you, so I don't need any more Scorpio.
you don't need any more Scorpio, but maybe you do need Scorpio energy in 2025. Like, what are you actually needing more of to accomplish the things you want to accomplish in 2025?
You know, that's a good question. I think maybe that's why we have certain people in our lives. You know, I have a lot of Tauruses in my life and Aries for some reason, and then I got some Scorpios, and it's for a reason. It's like the exact opposite of me, right? So it's like if I could add a piece of the puzzle to me, what would I want it to be? Man, that's a tough thing.
I mean, I think that there are moments where I would love to have more of Libra in me so that I can take the emotion out of what I'm trying to communicate so that I don't freak people out or make them turn off. Like, it would be great just to be able to have that perfect balance in a conversation.
Okay, so what's the water signs?
Cancer,
Cancer is water. What else is water?
Scorpio.
Really?
I'm water.
I thought you were fire.
No.
Okay, what else is water? Sagittarius?
Is it? I don't actually.
Or is it fire? No, Sagittarius is fire.
Is it?
Dude, you're killing me. You're supposed to know these things.
Let me. Oh no,
So,
I don't have my phone.
I need water. That's what I need.
Do you? Why?
Or wait, no, you're fire.
No, I'm water.
You're water. Which is so crazy because this person just wants to nuke everything. You were like the ultimate napalm bomb. I don't need any more of that. What is Taurus and Aries?
Taurus is earth.
And what's Aries? Fire?
Fire.
I probably need fire then.
Why?
Because I already got you. You're water. I'm earth. I'm earth, right?
What are you going to do with fire? What do you think fire is for?
I need power. That's what I need. I don't need Libra. I don't need any balance. I'm already balanced.
You're very
I'm already
balanced,
grounded.
yes.
I want fire. I want intense, crazy heat.
You know, you can get that from a Leo. You have a daughter.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
I mean, they can tend to keep the fire for themselves.
But it's
I
true.
think.
It's true. You know what? Now that you say it, it's like I need to be Leo because Leo is the star of the show. And in order to get your self-worth and your shit together, you need to really love who you are.
You know what?
I'm going to take Leo.
Your moon sign is Leo. You have that in your chart already.
There you go. I got Virgo. I got Leo. It's close to me anyway, month-wise. Boom. Question answered perfectly. Thank you. Even though Alora drives me bananas and we're very similar, her Leo-ness drives me crazy.
And I guess that's why you need it, right?
Yeah, it's like I need to be more self-centered.
Be the actor in your show.
Yeah, I need to be the star, not the... Yeah, so many of the times I'm playing, sidekick.
supportive role,
I'm
yeah.
playing sidekick to people. I'm like, dude, I'm so done with that.
Good for you.
Thanks. What about you?
I don't know.
Oh, you said Libra. You said Libra.
I mean, I did, but my instinct is always like, more water, more water. I have so much water in my chart. I'm all water.
Yeah, but you don't need more. You need something different.
But
you
I
need a good
love it
backup.
so
No,
much.
you don't need that. You need backup.
You know what? I could probably use more air sign so that I can work on my mental capacity and just an overall lightness because everything is very like heavy. And because you're earth, the girls have so much earth in their chart. It's ridiculous. Like all their supporting signs are all earth. So I am very well grounded.
So since we're talking about all of this and we've talked about Sandy, where can people find Sandy so that they can get these things done? So I think that'd be
Solarpowerhealth.com.
solarpowerhealth.com. That's her website.
She does really amazing astrological readings. She did both of our natal charts. She did my solar return.
I think it's very valuable.
I love it. I'm thinking actually about making her a monthly appointment for me from my astrological chart just to see where I can start working with the energies better.
I would probably do a sound bath with her just like after Christmas, like we did.
Every year, like make it a
Every
yearly
year.
thing. I do them almost every month.
And I was going to say the thing that we did with John and Susan where we went to the orchestra. for Christmas. I would do that. These are like my new traditions.
That's like a sound bath too, you know?
I would do those things every year. Like this month, we've had some really awesome things that I want to be traditions moving
It's
forward.
so crazy because this month, out of all the other months of the year, I think this month was the hardest in terms of my trauma triggers being activated. It's like people were purposely pushing these triggers. And at one point last week, I'm like, I give up. I give up. I went into that sound bath and my intention was either blow the trauma out of my body forever or help me integrate it so that I can just live with it because I can't feel this activated all the time. It was exhausting.
So what did we come up with? That we're basically just going to give up and try and integrate it, right?
In that moment, I just gave up. I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to let the universe help and tell me at this point because I can't do it anymore. Like, you have to know when to stop fighting the good fight.
It's either that or go to like hypnotherapy.
And I'm like, I even told Emma, I'm like, Emma, just sign me up for shock therapy. She's like, that's not funny. Don't joke about that.
But seriously, some things are so deeply ingrained that how do we get rid of them? I don't know. Maybe hypnotherapy. Other than that, it could take a lifetime of working on it.
I'm starting to wonder if some of those traumas are just not meant to be healed by me in this lifetime.
Right.
That's how
You just gotta
difficult they are.
Yeah, you just kind of work with it and navigate through life and recognize it. Just recognize it when it happens.
And that's why I want to lean in more to protecting my peace.
Yeah.
That's my only job for 2025. I just want to protect my peace. I've worked really hard to cultivate this peace and I want to protect it.
I'm gonna get you a shirt that says "Protect Your Peace."
Thanks.
Just like Firmamental, protect your dome. You're gonna be protect your peace.
Protect your peace.
It's important. It's important to protect things that are important and valuable to you. Otherwise,
and other people's opinions be damned. I don't care how I come across to other people.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably one of the lessons that I learned in my 20s or 30s. It's funny, the older you get, the less you give a
The less
crap
you give a shit.
about what other people think
I'm gonna
of
be
you.
the craziest old person.
Me too. I'd be like, screw this, man. Like the older I'm getting, the less liked I need to be by everyone.
You know, honestly, if people just knew that at my core, my intention is for you to be happy, healthy, and loved. I don't want anything nasty or evil upon anybody. I don't have those thoughts. I just want everyone to find their way, how they can make themselves happy, make themselves feel loved. Like, if people could just take ownership of making themselves the best versions they could be, you know?
I just had a thought while you were talking.
Of course you did.
And, well, it's because of you that I had this thought. And you know how they say a friend in need is a friend indeed?
Sure.
You and I don't really need anything from people. I never want to feel like I need anyone to do anything for me. I always want to be like independent or do stuff for people. And it's like, I think people and friendship, they need to be needed. And maybe that's one of the secret recipes for, maybe that's what people want, is they want you to need them so that they can help you or whatever.
The only thing I need from anybody is the space to be me.
It's on the record now. Everybody's hearing it.
I need for that person to just allow me to be me. No judgment. You're not going to be hurt by my need to retreat every once in a while. Like, that's just me. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
That's hard, is finding somebody to let me be whatever I am.
Yeah.
But that's the definition of a true friend. A true friend will let you be what you are.
And I would say that I need people to know that whenever I say things, I would say 99.9% of the time, it's never malicious. Most of the time, I'm saying things to try and be funny, or I'm testing out material, and I'm never trying to hurt anyone's feelings. Like, anytime I've ever hurt someone, I ended up like feeling horrifically bad and just could not believe that I hurt someone with the things that I said, even because I don't come from a place of evil or hatred. I'm always joking or trying to make someone laugh. And it's weird. I have this like crazy sense of humor that might hurt somebody's feelings, but that's never my intention.
Right.
That's one thing that I would always want to be on the record, to be on my epitaph that I never meant to hurt anyone.
I have to say though that when you do hurt people's feelings, and I've seen it happen, you apologize immediately. Like
Do I?
you're so good at apologizing. Like you're good at saying, "Oh, well, that's not how I meant it," and you're right, I shouldn't have said this. Like you're really good at that stuff.
I don't know. I've lost a lot of friends for some stupid crap.
Well,
and
that's on them then, because you are really good about making sure that you're not hurting somebody.
I'm thinking if I was better at apologizing, then but
It's not you.
It's not me. It's them. It's their
Right.
shit. Like I obviously touched something
Right.
that I should not have touched, and I didn't mean to.
Right.
It's it's great. People are weird. People are crazy. It's not just me. We're all crazy.
We're all crazy.
We're all crazy. And my sense of humor is wild. Like,
You know,
I can push a button.
I will say that last year at this time, I set the intention to learn how to do a handstand. That was my big intention for this year. And I was thinking about the video of us in Arizona in April and how I'm kicking up and kicking down. And I'm just kind of going up and down and how far I've come. Like now I can hold my handstand. Like I can do a forearm stand. I can do a headstand. Like I set out and I did the things that I wanted to do.
Oh, good.
So it's important to me now that when I say I want something for next year, like I know I can do it. I've already proved that I have the follow through. I'm really good at momentum.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of that stuff.
I know you
in
don't.
Yoga.
I know you don't.
But
it brings me such joy to be able to do it. I have worked really hard.
I'm proud of you. And for me, it's like I'm proud of the fact that I went 2 or 3 times a week every week.
You did a good job with yoga this year.
There were some tough days. You know, mentally it's harder.
It's always a mental battle with yoga.
If you're going in there and you're just mentally destroyed, I don't know. Physically, I'm very strong now and I'm very flexible and I feel good. But there's just some days where your brain is not in a good place and it makes
It's hard.
it so difficult.
It's hard. There's been many times where my brain has not been there and it's like, how bad would it be if I just got up and walked out? You know, like.
But that's the thing. It's jiu-jitsu too, and I suck. Like I sucked at jiu-jitsu. I suck at yoga.
You don't suck at yoga.
Dude, I suck, and it's okay. You have to be able to suck at things and still keep going back. That is a huge lesson that I would say 90% of people don't.
How hard is that for you and me? You as a Virgo sun, I have a Virgo moon. We are perfectionists, like hard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to embrace the suck, but it's like, it's okay. It's okay to suck and just keep showing up and realize that you're doing it for you and not to compare yourself to others. That is huge. And same with the houses, like, and our cars. And you drive around and you see somebody driving a fancy car. It's like, oh, I suck. I don't have that car. I don't have that big fancy house. And, you know, the comparison is the thief of joy for a reason. And there's a reason why you have to do things that you suck at and just keep doing it because you're proving to yourself that you can do the hard things and keep showing up.
Yeah, the need for a bigger house for me is not because so-and-so down the street has a bigger house and I'm envious of their life. It's because I love hosting and I want more space to do it in.
Right.
You know, like it's a reason for me to want a little bit more space. I don't need a mansion, but a little bit more space would be good.
I would like to build the girls their own house.
You know.
That would be cool. I just want to build.
I know, which is, okay, so we need projects.
Right. I just want to build.
So lots of projects in 2025, lots of money in 2025 that's not just coming and going, that you can invest and build and do all the things you want to do with. And,
Thank you.
You know, another year of yoga for me, lots more handstands in my future because it brings me joy.
I think that you should do some crow to handstands. That's 2025's goal. Crow to handstand. I want to be impressed by you.
It just will never happen. And
Dude,
it will never happen because I don't have the shoulder straight. Look at my shoulders. I cannot get any more like ripped than I am here without looking like a dude. And I can't get, I just can't get myself up from there. Like I just don't have it.
A real man would do it.
Yeah, I'm not a man.
A real woman wouldn't say no. You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, I've seen a man do it in our yoga class. I have yet to see a woman do it.
I'm going to talk to Greg. He's going to coach you.
Fine. No, I don't need coaching.
You need a yoga coach,
I
and I'm
don't
gonna
need a
get
yoga
you
coach.
one.
It's so like anti-yoga to have like a yoga teacher, like private. To me, I don't know.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna suggest the studio that they have a couple workshops on this so that you have a thing to focus on.
You know what I had the thought today that I'm like, I wish they would workshop Fallen Angel, because there's always this opportunity inside Crow for Fallen Angel, and I feel like that's one of those poses, if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna fall on the side of your head.
I'm constantly almost falling on my head, so I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to do any of that crap. If I could do like almost the splits, I'd be pretty impressed with myself. I'll set myself out to do
The splits
almost
this year,
almost splits.
like for 2025.
Yeah, but not like I don't think I want to do like the scissor. I want to do like legs outwards. Like
Or
the
are you serious?
Yeah, I want to do like Jean-Claude Van Damme on the 2 chairs. And then you can take a picture of me next year. That'll be my goal.
I have no desire to do the splits.
Yeah, but you can almost do it already, or you can do it.
No, I can't do it. I'm close.
No, you can do
Only
it.
on the up like this way, like the
Yeah,
north and south.
the scissory.
It's
Yeah,
called the north and south splits.
I call it the scissor. I call it the scissor.
I'm close and I'm good with that.
I'm gonna do the Jean-Claude Van Damme. So you do that one, and I'll do the
I don't
opposite.
want to do that one.
And then you'll take pictures of me for next year, and I'll drink some champagne while I'm doing the splits on 2 chairs. It's gonna be hot.
What about wheel? Maybe you should start doing more wheel.
I can do wheel already.
No, you'd never do wheel.
It's because I don't want to, but I can. I can do
Yeah,
it.
the one time you did wheel, what happened?
Fell on my head.
That's not true. The one time you did wheel, your heart chakra opened. I don't know if you remember that day.
I could do it right now on the camera. I could do it. That's how not scared I am of wheel. I could do it easily. You know what would be cool is doing a wheel and then going into a handstand, or handstand into wheel. Is that a thing?
I don't know. You should do it though.
Anyway, I feel like we're rambling.
I'm sure we are at this point.
I had fun.
Me too. Nice. It was a good way to end our New Year's. You know what? One of our resolutions should be to grow the podcast. We talk about all these things and it brings us joy to do this and it's fun. Like, I love doing this with you. So why don't we like put it out there that this is the thing that we do all the time for money, and then we don't have to do things we don't like.
Right. Well, I need to do a better job of reaching out to other podcasts and having people come on our show, so it's not just crazy you and me babbling on. But I
Right.
think that you and I are pretty entertaining. Like,
So more guests for 2025, and you and I should go on other people's podcasts.
yes.
Okay, well, it's out there though. It's out there for the universe to hear.
Are you going to be okay with being a guest on other
I
podcasts?
rock guesting. I love it. It's fun.
You gonna let me talk?
You can talk all you want.
See, good. We're a good team. We're a good team. All right. And with that, our champagne is empty. I need to go get more. And, Happy New Year to everyone. And we're going to see you on the other side. See you next year.